All right, guys, welcome back to Shop and Cutting Up Plastics YouTube channel. Today, got a little rant, and it's involving stuff we do, automotive related, more so up in the mountains, trail etiquette. We all went camping this weekend. My brother-in-law and his family, and my family, the kids, the wife, all that. We went up, and my buddy Kevin came up, the one who owns that Bad Investment Sport. We went and ran Naches Pass. Well, tried to. We tried to run the top half of Naches Pass. And I got some video here I'm going to overlay over this while I'm talking so you don't have to stand here and stare at me. So we got on the trail, and I was always taught trail etiquette was always watch for the person behind you. So if everyone watches for the person directly behind them, everyone should stay together, or pretty close. You pack it in, you pack it out. And I even take that one farther with my kids. I tell them to pick up one piece of garbage each that is not ours. We leave the place cleaner than we got it. If you're slower, move over. So that's where this kind of falls into. No one owns the trails up there. It's up there for all of us to use. And we, obviously in full-size trucks, are a little slower than side-by-sides. Inherently, that's just how it works. So we were running Naches Pass, like I said, the top half, and we were slower. We had a group come up behind us. Cool. So they told my brother-in-law, who was last in line, that they had a group of guys, and like 6 or 7 side-by-sides, and a guy in a Jeep. So my brother-in-law radioed forward, because they all were behind him, because he was last in line. And he radioed to me and said, hey, we got a group of guys, whatever, 6 side-by-sides in a Jeep. So we pulled over, let him by. They didn't say any word to any of the rest of us in the group, just him. We sat there and waited for the Jeep for probably 3 or 4 minutes. Couldn't hear him, couldn't see him, nothing. So we pulled it back out and kept moving. Sure enough, about 30 seconds later, he was right behind us. They went forward, I don't know, maybe a quarter mile, if that, and then stopped in the middle of the trail and plugged it up. Now, they said they had a broke truck, which it happens, I get it. And this is where I'm going to take some responsibility on this. Probably could have handled myself a little bit better, but the group kind of pissed me off because they stopped in the middle of the trail with a broken truck. Okay, when I used to four-wheel and heavily, we had some Samurais that were pretty modified, and I used to go with my uncle as a kid all the time. If something was broke and you were holding people up, especially on a little narrow trail, scoot over. Try and move stuff out of the way if you can. If you can't, let everybody know. And there was no communication from this group to us or the guys behind us that caught up to us. So one of their guys walked past me, Kevin, and Kyle to talk to the guy in the Jeep. Then walked back up and didn't say a word to any of us. Next thing we know, the guy in the Jeep is driving off the trail, through the trees, running over trees, running over whatever they wanted because they had to get tools up to this side-by-side. Now, would the guy who walked back and forth past me said, hey, buddy, we got a broke truck. I'm trying to get it fixed that we were not holding everybody up. We got the Jeep. He's got the tools. Can we try and shuffle around, get him up here? Totally cool. But when you start driving off the side of the trail and acting like you own the place and just tearing the shit out of things because you can, I'm not going to take well to that. So when he parked his front tire up against my driver door and told me I needed to move for him, I didn't. And this is, like I said, where I'm going to take responsibility. I told him that his legs weren't broken. He could carry the shit the extra 20 feet up to the next rig. So obviously that made him mad, and he started talking crap, all his buddies, whatever. We just ignored him. And then magically, the truck was fixed. No one touched a tool, nothing. Everyone had gotten out of the side-by-sides and grabbed their beverages and stood around and looked at it, and then magically it was fixed. So was there a broke part that they were able to fix later? Maybe, I don't know. Like I said, there was no communication by these guys at all. So they got moving again. I let the guy in the Jeep squeeze between me and the tree in front of me so he could be with his homies. They took off. And then they pulled off at a little turnout a little ways up the road, all got out, talking shit again because I didn't bow down to them and move because they needed me to. So we just kept going. We had a couple other side-by-sides catch up to us, whatever, let them by. And then we pulled off the road at a crossroad with the Forest Service road and the trail and sat there, let the kids out, let them run a little bit. It was a little more gnarly than they wanted to do, I think. So the next group came through behind us in the trail, whatever. And then that same group that we had problems with showed up. Trail only goes to one spot. So they were obviously going to come up behind us. But they pulled up, plugged the trail going up, plugged the trail going down, and then plugged the Forest Service road going out. They literally just parked in the way of everyone. And that's, again, where I'm like, okay, come on, guys. Like, park somewhere where you're not in the way. We pulled up, pulled off the side of the road far enough, that way if someone else had to come up and get behind us, they could. So we decided at that point, once they were moved and going to be gone, that we were just going to go back to camp. I didn't want to make the situation worse. I had calmed down, whatever, but they were still making stupid comments. I could tell that if we ended up there at the same spot, it was not going to be good. So we just packed the kids up, went back to camp. No big deal. But I think there's so many people up in the hills these days between side-by-sides and dirt bikes and what's left of the guys who four-wheel Jeeps and full-sizes and stuff that we just got to get along, man. Like, the trails are tight. They're small. You can't get by each other, really. Like, we had to squeeze pretty hard a couple times to get out of the way to let people by. But we're going to do it because I'm not going to hold up a group of 10 guys who could be somewhere in 10 minutes, and it'll take us a half hour. Some people don't care. We do it just to be courteous. Also, another thing, if somebody needs help, I'm there to help them. My brother-in-law is the same way. Like, we've been in the situations where we need help to get out. Those guys, you could have been laying there with a broken leg and they would have drove right by. That's just my opinion. That's how they acted. They stuck their noses up and acted like they were better than the rest of the people up there, and we needed to bow down to them. It was not a cool way to act. My wife and I actually helped a guy this weekend. We were headed down to come home. We have the truck and trailer, and everything was packed up, the dogs, the kids, everything. And we stopped to check everything, make sure it was all good. And the guy pulled over next to me and asked me if I knew where Forest Road 7080 was. His wife was headed home from up Bumping Lake area, and her GPS took her over the top Forest Service Road from Cliffdale to Greenwater. Well, she got her Lincoln stuck, her navigator stuck in the snow, and was able to do an emergency text out to him, and he had no idea where she was because they weren't from around here. So I kind of gave him directions on where I thought she was. He took off, and then my wife looked at me and said, "Hey, put the dogs in the truck. Let's go help this guy. You know, if something is wrong, if they crashed." He was in a full-size dually pickup. We have the winch and stuff on the Bronco, so we loaded 3 dogs up in the back with 3 kids, and we hauled ass up and found her. Was there to help with what he needed to get her out. It was not that bad. It was just stuck enough that she was scared, and it was definitely some spot she should not have been in with that car. So, yeah, like I said, just if somebody needs help, help them out. They're broke down, they're in need of a part or some fluids or just a hand. We're all up there together. So that's all I really have to say. Just a trail etiquette thing, guys. If you're up in the hills, be courteous, be kind, clean up after yourselves. A little different video than normal, but I wasn't going to actually do anything with it, but I had the footage from this weekend, what you guys just saw there. Would have had more, but honestly, I got flustered and just quit filming. I was not in a mood to do anything with it. So it was a cool trail. We will go run it again. I think we'll take a weekend that's not a busy weekend, and we'll head up early morning. There's a cool meadow and a cabin up there. It's called Government Meadows. It's on top of Naches Pass, Cliffwater to Greendale area. So it's a cool area. We'll take the kids up there. I think our kids have seen it. We ran it once, the upper part, right where we turned around. We'd never ran that middle section that you guys saw right there. Honestly, you guys didn't even see the worst of it. There was some gnarly stuff. So for a big full-size truck or two, it was a little more than I had remembered. I turned onto the trail right where the video started there, and that's not where I wanted to start. I wanted to start up higher, but oh well, we made it. There was no dents, no scratches, no broken parts. Both my truck and the Blazer did super well. Kevin was demoing a new rig. They got in, kind of testing it out, see how they do. It did really well. learning new stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna get back on this truck here. Should make sure I'm recording because I don't think I have been. So yeah, make sure you're subscribed. Leave a comment down below. Make sure the notification bell is on. Thumbs up if you like what you're seeing. Thumbs down if you don't. Like I said, this is a little different video, but I had to get it off my chest, share with everyone else. So until next time, guys, keep building awesome stuff. Later.